Agents of I.C.S. is a Monster of the Week horror podcast meant for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Why, hello there, and welcome back to our Monster of the Week campaign, Agents of I.C.S. We'll meet back up with said agents in a local hotel where they discussed what to do next. That thing being, talk to Graham about weird stuff. Let's join them now. Hola!
Good day.
Hey.
As mentioned previously, it is the morning, you guys have gotten a rest, you've talked with who you needed to talk to, etc., etc., so the stage is indeed yours. You guys are a local hotel, early, waking, go wherever you want.
I believe Jay slept in his car, so he is very stiff and rigid right now.
I'm sorry to hear that.
He woke up early, so he's currently like taking a stroll to get his limberness back.
Excellent. How about Carson and Margot?
I mean, we had a hotel room, right?
Indeed.
Yeah.
I don't mind sleeping in the same room as Carson. We've bunked before.
Excuse me? Oh, bunked.
Yes.
I misheard it for like half a second.
Yeah, I was like, excuse me?
My bad.
But it's 2 queen beds.
2 queen beds?
They're always 2 queens.
Yeah,
You
depends
get,
if it's
yeah.
a motel or a hotel, right?
Okay, we're not in a motel. What
Yeah,
is
I was
this,
thinking it was
Love Shack? I
rinky-dinky,
don't
but
think
all
so.
right.
I have higher standards.
Hey, I'll take a queen doll to myself. That works for me.
I mean, Margot's the one that has to pay for this, though.
What?
Yeah, you're the one that has to pay for all of this.
I mean, I am with the organization, so yes, I'm covering the bill.
You got a spooky little credit card?
Obviously, it's might have a picture of my BFF on it that I hide.
That's weirdly cute.
It was an impulse buy.
Okay. What's our next move? That's what I'm interested in.
Well, we're gonna visit Mr. Guy Mac friend again,
I think so.
and someone was gonna do something spooky with his, I don't know, his aura, and we're gonna inform him about our visit to the forest, I guess, tomorrow. And other than that, we don't have anything planned.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right, so we just head straight there?
I mean, this is after breakfast, right?
Sure.
I need breakfast. Unless you want to deal with grumpy Margot all day.
I mean, I'm not in the room right now, so usually do whatever you want.
Are you kind of always
Jay
grumpy?
woke up at like 6 a.m. and he already ate breakfast. It's fine.
Extra grumpy, Carson. I think you can tell the difference. You are definitely a people person.
All right, if Margot's just needs something to fill her stomach, I assume food to go should be adequate, and then just straight over to Serene Falls.
Indeed, yes.
Yeah.
All right, y'all pick up food. You get there relatively early. Do we call Graham ahead of time, or are we just swinging by?
Probably.
Yeah.
Need to make sure he's home anyway, so.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. You guys give him a quick ring. It's relatively early. He's able to answer the phone and lets you guys know that, yes, he is indeed there, and he'll be there for the remainder of the day. He sounds fairly excited over the phone as well. He's pretty sure you guys are ripping and raring to go, so he knows what that means.
Who are we inviting to help us interrogate Graham's gravitational weird pull? We were borrowing someone or something, right?
I mean, either Carson's ex or you would, I don't know, do some spooky I.C.S. stuff.
Did you call your ex yesterday, Carson? She's on the way or no?
We can say that she is, yeah. I would have called her.
Is she excited to see you again?
We're in a weird place right now. I'd appreciate it if you didn't ask me.
Okay.
It's complicated.
It's complicated. Like, we're still desperately in love, but our lifestyle just doesn't match up right now.
Desperately in love, huh?
Stop it. Look,
I am intrigued now.
she's the love of my life. I'm not going to lie about it.
Been there, done that.
I love her, damn it. Shut up. Leave me alone.
Tsundere.
Basically. Alrighty, well, we'll get there in record time. And was there anything you guys wanted to discuss with Graham prior to Miss Sophie Psychic showing up?
I mean, I guess we could enlighten him about our finds in the old office, I guess. We didn't find much. We had the list of applicants, though. And you were on it. But your friend wasn't. That's interesting.
Yeah, effectively going down everything. He just gives you a look of like, this all adds up to exactly what I was saying, unfortunately. And he just kind of sighs and goes, He doesn't say anything. He just shrugs. Like, see, I told you so. She doesn't make any sense. So the look he gives you, though, very much says that he's glad that you're seeing the same thing he is. The friend doesn't exist. No one recognizes him, but Grandma's there, so something's at least adding up.
The only strange thing is that you have a picture of him, right? The one you gave us.
He nods and kind of flips through his phone real quick and then shows it to you guys again and says, yeah, I mean, I sent it to y'all.
No, he has been erased from everywhere, so why not from there?
Bigger shrug?
Where's the camera
shrug.
he used to make that picture?
Oh, it's my phone.
Just your phone?
Yeah, just my phone. I mean, I don't frequently take pictures of my friends. I only got like one or two of them, but there's one of us together, and then I just took a picture of, he was excited to, hit up this club prior to us, heading on in, so I took a picture of him then, and that's basically all I got.
Well, I might as well check that one out as well while Sophie is over. I can't remember the place where this workshop was given. They had cameras, right?
It did have cameras, yes.
Oh, I should have probably checked those out as well then. Do you think Margot might be able to get those cameras or the tapes recordings through I.C.S?
Yeah, I think I should be able to. Do I need to roll a call, dear DM?
I would say so, yes. Effectively, I'm pretty sure I know where you're going with this. You're looking to see if there's any recording of his friend?
Yeah.
Okay. That will obviously take
in again.
Yeah. So obviously you could try breaking in again. This would obviously be more secure because it's not a room that no one's using. So a little harder. Slightly risky, yeah. Which, don't let me stop you from doing anything, of course. Margot can make a call.
It's a backup option.
The only downside to whiffing the call, Margot, is it will take longer than usual. That's it.
I mean, we're not in a terrible hurry.
Yeah.
No. We'll probably be gone for a few days at the resort anyway, so.
Remind me what I rolled for this?
Realistically, you can just roll me convince while you're waiting for Sophie to swing on by. This probably would have occurred to you guys relatively early. You guys probably thought like, oh shit, et cetera, et cetera. We definitely need this. There you go, mixed success, perfect. So with an 8, I'll say they'll get this done. They'll get you the information, but it won't be snappy. So either by the end of today or tomorrow, they let you know that, yeah, we might have some agents in the area. We might be able to pull some strings. We have to see how secure they are. That's basically the major issue. We don't want to raise too many red flags. But yes is the answer. And not long after you hanging up and such, you guys hear a knock at the door.
I'll open the door.
Reminder, what does this love of your life look like that we're not talking about? Vague description is safe.
She's,
she
just
has
a
hair.
girl. She has hair, some eyes.
All right.
Only
Notes.
2 though.
Hair, eyes, 2 eyes.
Couple of limbs.
Couple of limbs.
An acceptable amount of limbs.
An acceptable amount of limbs. I don't know. She's got red hair.
Why does everyone have red hair here?
It's fun.
I like red hair.
So
Eva has red hair, Maverick has red hair, Margot has red hair, all the way hidden.
I mean, it depends on the kind of red. Like, what red is Margot?
I mean, I don't know. She has it.
I'm
hidden.
thinking a little too bright, which is why I hide it.
Is it fake?
No,
You
it's
know what?
natural.
Let me
It does, okay.
rewind. I don't want any, but I don't want it. I don't want her to look like Margot.
It's
Rewind.
literally just Margot except without her hair dyed.
No. Rewind. Now she has brunette hair. She's a brunette. Cut like a bob. Not like a bob, really, but shoulder length.
yeah.
And how tall is Carson? That's the real question. I don't know.
I picture
We're
him
about
pretty
the
tall.
same height. We're about the same height. She's pretty tall.
What kind of vibe does she let off? Is she more aggressive? She's more passive?
A little bit Luna Lovegood.
Okay, a little. Okay.
Yes, I already.
A little
accepted
off.
The kind of person she is.
Why would you
I
do
linked a
this?
picture in Discord.
She looks like an
Except
adult.
Except
She's an adult.
That's
with
also
brown
not
hair.
Luna Lovegood.
I guess
that's
Luna
close enough.
Lovegood in like weirdly on a different plane of existence, but very earnest.
Good enough. I like that. And the terms you guys ended off on, are these hugging terms or is it more a wave? Like, hey, Carson.
Pensive staring.
Yeah. Is it awkward or?
It's a little awkward. I'm processing some trauma.
Fair enough. So as the door is entered, she kind of gives you a quick wave, her eyes resting on you for maybe a second longer than is comfortable, Carson. And
I
she
blush.
just, yeah. She whips her looking about. She just goes, all right, so you have need of me and my skills?
Yep, we do. Exactly. That's exactly what you are here for. Yes.
Perfect.
Definitely.
Business call. Business, yes, of course.
Yes, of course. Business only. Yes.
Graham kind of like rushes her and she, all right, hey, what's up? Go ahead and just explain to me what we're doing, what you need me for. I'm not absurdly busy today, but you know my schedules can be, well. And then she's kind of processing like, that was definitely directed to you, Carson, as if to say like, oh, you know how it is. And she's kind of like, shit, I'm awkward.
I am going to let Carson answer because I'm staring at him very fascinated right now.
What is it exactly that she said?
Well, she's kind of like stumbling, maybe mentioning things that she shouldn't be mentioning, but effectively like, what am I here for exactly? I assume this is the guy. And then Graham just looks back to you guys like, cool.
Yeah, it is. Yes, he is. Is it him that was the one with the, the stuff, the oogly boogly, yeah. Oh God. I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Jill just laugh and just cut in like start explaining. Well, this guy supposedly has some latent powers, I guess.
Well, we're not sure if he does. We think he does.
Oh,
I'm drinking a bottle of water very fast in the bathroom.
We hear ferocious gulping.
She pretends to ignore any sounds between the silence coming from the bathroom. You're definitely there. Just go to the bathroom, not trying to like kill time. And
the
she
walls
just
are
like
very thin.
Yeah. yeah. Graham's looking at you guys like this is an expensive apartment, so yeah, sorry.
There's this one, and then so when I'm done, I close the door and I come back out and I'm like, all right, time to get to work. I'm pretending nothing weird happened.
We also have some pictures to look at, I guess.
Excellent. She nods at that. She acknowledges what you said, Carson, without necessarily looking at you. And she's already sitting with Graham at his table that he's already cleared for them. And she kind of just puts her hands out. He puts his out, and he's like vibrating with excitement. He has no idea what's really going on, but he's here for it.
Just go do what you did in the classes you took, I guess.
Well, that works. Graham, what exactly was your specialty? Your forte? Oh, shoot. I mean, they kind of just had me like guessing shit like numbers and like shapes and things on cards and things like that nature. I don't know if that makes me like, I can see the future. Like, I can see the card before they flip it. And that's what I was guessing. Or if I could see through the card, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe I can see through her eyes. I have no idea. One of those, right? I mean, that's psychic, right? And she's just slowly nodding like, okay. I don't know if they did a bunch of work with him, but that's something. She looks to you guys and then back to him. And
shrug.
Yeah, I shrug too.
She just says, I'll think of a number, and I'll think of it hard. Look into my eyes and tell me what number I'm thinking of, Graham. It's from 1 to 10. And he's just like, arm on the table, leaning forward, thinking, licking his lips like, all right, I got this. Ooh, 4. And then she kind of, good try. Very close, it was 5. Ah, shit. I mean, close works, right? And she goes, well, statistically, not necessarily, but a wonderful try all the same. Very close, yes. Put your hands out for me. And she puts her hands, palms up, he puts his palms down, and she kind of closes her eyes, and he's like looking around like, oh, okay, I'll do the same thing. And she's just kind of like just feeling out, and he's just kind of feeling. And then she mentions, you said something about a photograph.
Who has it?
I've got a copy, yeah. I don't know if you want his original phone, though.
I supply it immediately.
The original would be better, yeah.
Graham kind of fidgets and goes, his eyes are closed. Do I grab my phone or?
I grab his phone.
Oh, shit. Oh, okay. Hey there, Margo. And it's already pulled up to the picture because he was showing it to you guys. Sophie opens her eyes and takes a look and goes, what is particular about this photo that you want me looking for?
I'll point to Finn. That guy right there.
This boy, per all intensive records, doesn't exist.
Intriguing. Doesn't exist as in...
Is not a person.
Was never born.
Odd.
We have the photographic evidence from one phone, right? And nothing else. He just
Yeah,
doesn't
supposedly
exist.
he lived here, but the room was occupied partial of the time, and there's no records of him ever having been here.
Incredibly strange. I've heard of cases like this before, but you say no one can corroborate the existence of this individual except for one Graham Faulkner?
To our
Mhm.
knowledge.
And he's nodding like, yeah, it's me. And she's like, most intriguing, most intriguing. Graham, I want you to think about this Finn. Bring as many memories of him as you can to the forefront. I want him to encapsulate your mind. Breathe slowly and think slowly. I need you to focus. And his kind of fidgeting slows down. He begins to think. And she closes her eyes. She's like holding onto his hands as he's holding hers. And after a somewhat uncomfortable silence, she says, "You may open your eyes, Graham Faulkner." And then she looks to the rest of you while pulling her hands back and says, "I feel something. He spoke to me in his own unique way, and I don't believe you're lying, Graham. I sense a truth and an earnestness to your everything, your vibe, your aura. It speaks of truth. You would have no reason to lie about such a person, correct?" And he's like, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. One more person on our court, hell yeah. And she smiles at that, goes, good. And what if you mentioned he has powers? And she kind of looks past each of you, just kind of eyes flitting between the three of you, as if to say, like, what kind of powers? Have you seen them? What are we talking about exactly?
Did the notes from that organization mention what type of powers?
Basically, in terms of like guessing cards and things of that nature, he had a higher success rate, but that's about it.
I will reiterate that.
Okay. And she nods at that and says, "Excellent. I've brought a few things with me, although the designs might be slightly too complicated. One hopes that it shouldn't be too much for you, Graham. Yes?" And he says, stern nod, like, "I can do this." Excellent. She digs through her little side pouch, produces a few cards, and flips through them and kind of, she tries to pick out ones that, you know, it's a set of tarot cards that she breaks out, but the designs are a little complicated, usually with shapes as a white card with a black square, black circle, very, very simple. So she shows him 3 cards, and they have very distinct patterns. She says, "We're going to use these. Please look closely at them and memorize them. We need to be serious now, Graham. Can you do that for me?" And he nods. He goes, "Excellent, wonderful. Now," she pulls them up, flip. Close your eyes. She continues flipping, fans them in front of him, and says, "I want you to point to the tower. Can you do that, Graham?" And he thinks really hard for a second. He licks his lips again, slowly points forward, and he raises his eyebrows, say, "That one?" And then she turns and goes, "Unfortunately, that is the fool. Close, though." She shuffles them again, and after doing this a few more times, she does it about 10 times. The second time, he is correct. And she begins to ask for different ones. She actually adds one as well, because he gets 3 in a row correct. She goes, "Oh, that's actually pretty good." But statistically, that's still probable. And she's asking for different ones as well. She double checks to make sure the back of the cards aren't marked or marred in any way. After adding a 4th card, she kind of flips through them and asks for a different image every single time. And on average, so let's say she asked him about 10 times, he gets a 7 correct. And she puts the cards down and says, "Definitely impressive, Graham Faulkner. I'm not entirely sure how much this would lend credence to you having the gift or the vision, but that would line up to what you said, Margot, correct?"
Yes.
We do obviously have to take into account, well, as I said before, you know, luck is also a thing, Graham, which you could be gifted with. That is most definitely something you could have. In terms of what he can do, though, I'm sure you all know, and when she says all, her eyes jump to Carson specifically, then flip back to the rest of you guys. There are many ways one can be gifted, and it can be difficult to tell, but I do feel something stirring within our friend here. He has, I want to say, somewhat of a presence. Something, nothing dark.
Can I lean forward and say very quietly, is there a way to find out if he can see ghosts or the latter?
She nods that and gives you a look as if to say, should this answer be a secret?
Me? Or her?
I'm not sure if I want Graham to know quite yet, so I will nod.
And to
All right.
that, she holds up a finger to Graham and says, Graham, would you mind leaving Margot and I alone for just a moment? You can speak with the other two here. Is that fine? He goes, yeah, of course, sure. And then he kind of turns to talk with Jay and Carson, and his eyes kind of jump between Sophie and Carson. He kind of gives you like a little smirk, like, a little something else going on there. But he doesn't say anything. And
I play it cool.
yeah, he kind of finger guns you like, hey, I got you. And Sophie brings you off to the side, Margot. Do you believe this Finn character is a ghost?
It's the, for now, most logical explanation
Do you have
that I can come up with anyway.
Of course. Do you have any reason as to why there's no records of his existing, though? That seems quite odd, wouldn't you say?
Very, yes. But if he can't see, I mean, it might even be a ghost. It could be a demon for all we know. I just want to see if he can see something.
You're looking for if he's open to various presences and such, then.
Yes, because that might help us narrow down from there.
Quite intriguing. I might have to disappoint you slightly, though, Margot, as this type of ability was incredibly difficult to prove, of course. I mean, I'm sure you've seen on television and other sources ghost hunting, demon hunting, exorcisms, things of that nature. Well, excuse my French, but most of it's bullshit, of course.
Yes.
I'm sure I don't need to tell you that in the line of work that I
No,
believe you're all
you
in.
don't.
Now, I do believe things exist, whether it be the energy left behind by someone that has died, whether they are left in some form of limbo. One really can't say. It's difficult. If it's a presence, if it's, a demon, some form of darkness, as you say, a devil, also difficult. Maybe he's possessed, who knows, and this thing is attached to him. But I don't sense any malicious force around him, unless it's doing its best to hide itself. As I mentioned, this will be difficult to test, but I would say stay close to him. If you notice his mind trailing, or I would say obvious signs, but you're in the business, you know what to look for. Anything that strikes you as odd, do not be afraid to record it and send it to me.
All right, will do. Thank you, Sophie.
Of course. I might have to get with some of my people and see if there's something we can do. I wouldn't want to expose the boy to anything too dark or outside of his wheelhouse. That's something I'm very much opposed to. I'm sure you can understand.
Yeah, that's why I was quiet about it.
Good. Maybe keep it between the three of you for now. Don't really tell Graham. I wouldn't want him to be influenced by any outside resources. Yes.
Of course.
She smiles widely. That wonderful. Let's go meet back with our friends. Yes.
Yep.
Great.
I give her that look that says friends.
Eyes jump over that really quickly, and she turns on her heel and walks back to the rest of you as you guys are kind of chit-chatting with Graham. And she goes, so, Graham, I believe we possibly have made some form of progress here, yes? And he nods very, very excitedly. That goes, perfect. You just keep doing what you're doing. I will talk to my people, and I don't know if you have people, but if you do, have them contact me. I guess you can get Carson and his friends to call me, text me, send me a message if you need me, of course, and we can put something together. Yes? He goes, oh, definitely. Miss Sophie, this was absolutely fantastic. This was really, really fun. I told y'all I'm really good at the whole card guessing shit, and those were complicated sons of bitches. Like, those are weird looking, so I did pretty good, right? And she nods, like, totally serious. Yes, Graham, you did quite good. Maybe in the future we can throw something else together. Until then, though, is there anything else you require of?
No. No. Actually, no. Thank you so much.
Every time you go, she's like, oh, like a finger up, like, oh, okay, no.
I'm like, thank you so much for helping us out. If you want to come by the bar sometime, I'll treat you to a drink.
She smiles at that, and the expression on her face is a little hard to read. And whatever it is, she tries to cover it. And she meets you with a serious smile. You know when she's faking. And she says, if time permits, Carson, I would enjoy that.
Ooh. All right. Great. That's so great.
Very great.
Just,
it was a joy meeting you all. Of course. once again, if Carson has my contact information, so if any of you were to require me, and she kind of digs around her little pouch again, producing a little business card. Very fancy. It's got like a golden emboss on it. She places it on the table and says, "You may call me at my work line whenever is most convenient for you." And that, unless you guys have any more questions, she will give you guys a quick little bow, and then she'll head out.
All right. Great.
And as she pieces out,
was truly interesting to watch.
Yeah, Graham looks at you and is like, "Wow, King of Awkward Town, what's up?"
I'm literally like, I have my eyes closed and I'm pinching the bridge of my nose. Like, God, that was the stupidest I've ever been.
I look like I'm on the verge of laughing.
It just smiles. That's it.
Do not tell anybody about this. It'll really ruin my image in the field.
Yep.
Graham does the whole mouth zip.
You didn't see anything.
Takes the key, throws it away.
Absolutely nothing.
Your secret dies with me, buddy.
Perfect. Moving on.
All right, so what's the plan? What are we doing next?
What's next on the docket?
Did we already tell him about tomorrow? We did, right? Because we need to give him a couple days notice.
Yeah.
It's
like, no hurry, whenever is right for you.
Yeah,
I mean, some things we can do in this town anyway.
I've been telling my place I need to head out soonish. Fortunately, where I work, I got it all set up. We're good. If you guys want to go tomorrow, I'm totally set. I'm down.
Do you remember the path you took? Because I'd like to see that plant that he's got scratched.
Oh, like where we were hiking?
Yeah.
We weren't there for that long, but like I said, the vibes called to me, so they'll probably call to me again. I can give you a general, rundown of where it was. I was more worried about, the bleeding and all that. I don't do too good with blood, I'm gonna be entirely honest. It kind of freaks me out. It's a little gross. I know we're full of it, but keep it in there, buddy.
What?
I mean, that's where it's supposed to stay.
Blood's supposed to be in the body, not outside the body. I'm not down with that.
That's fair.
Life is currently broken.
I would love to know, was it funny? Yes. Was it that funny?
She has her moments where I say something that's kind of funny and she falls out of her chair.
And
then I actually try.
He's in a good mood. Leave me alone.
Exactly. I try in a joke and she just stares at me. I'm like, "Come on, tell you got it." She's like, "I got it." I'm like, do you want me to explain the joke to you? Want me to tell you? It's funny, right? Was the joke funny? Did you get it? Want me to explain the joke to you? Did you get it?
Cute.
Smack.
Okay, what were we talking about?
Bleeding and the plant and where it was. He basically said, yes, ? He can probably find it.
I was gonna say, before I interrupted myself, if it was that traumatic, you can probably find it again by just a sense of trauma.
Bingo. A lot of woods, a lot of places for hiking and such, but like I said, we weren't there for too long, so I basically remember where it was. Shouldn't be that bad.
All right, good. That settles. We're leaving tomorrow morning.
Perfect. Y'all gonna meet me here? You want me to meet you the hotel you guys staying at, or what?
No, I'll pick you up.
Perfect. I gotta head out, obviously, to go do work and such in 30. So if you need anything else of me, I'll be here for another 30 minutes. So you got any questions? Feel free to fire them at me. If you guys need help in town, I think you guys said you're kind of local, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Kind of local. We'll figure something out.
All right, sweet, perfect.
I do have a question. This might not be important. I might be reaching at straws right now. That picture that he showed us of the one in the club, did he say how long he'd known him when he took that picture?
He did not mention it, but I will say it's not too important to the case. He's known him for long enough, though. I think I mentioned somewhere how long they had been friends for, which, to be super clear, it does not line up with times from other people, but it lines up with his internal timing. His internal timing is impeccable. Everyone else, though, Mr. Carrick and all that, doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
Yeah, for like I said, I don't want to make these cases too complicated, but if you guys have a question about something, I will just straight up say this is not important to the case. So you won't need to keep asking. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't want to do red herrings. I don't want to do all these fake clues and shit and have you guys going oh my God, where is this thing? And it's nowhere. And I'm just sitting here oops. So that's not fun from any perspective.
Or is it?
Wife who's writing, Hub's a lying piece of shit. Don't believe that he's not lying. Do not believe his lies.
No, I said not important.
I know, I'm kidding. Just tattoo it in your arm somewhere.
Wait, I need to be able to cross it out.
Strike through?
There it is. There's a strike through.
Noise. Friggin' noise. Oops, there we go. Alrighty, did you guys want to bother Graham with anything in these last 30 or so minutes, or you just want to head out and look around town and such?
What is his schedule for the rest of the day?
Basically, he's going to head to work. In 30 minutes, he'll be out, and then by night, he will return and kind of just, eat, drink, be merry, sleep, wake up tomorrow, and head with you guys out.
Does he work at a very normal place?
Relatively, yeah. He works in retail, somewhere where there's enough folk that if he needs to call out, he can, and he's working there long enough that he's got a little bit of sway.
Okie dokes.
I'm trying to think of something to do for the rest of the day.
Yeah, realistically, it doesn't have to be anything super in particular. You guys can just generally look around. You can, find people to talk with. If you're not sure what to do, roaming is always an option.
I guess we could check, any buildings next to the one they live in that has cameras, maybe.
Okay, we could definitely do that. Businesses that are close by Serene Falls, basically.
Basically, yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, definitely.
Like the most local market.
Yeah, sure, definitely. And effectively, definitely a little difficult. What's going to be your approach to try to get the recordings?
Good question.
Because I will say, someone that worked in, I'm not going to be super anal, but as someone who worked in retail, that shit's hard to get your hands on, even if you work there.
Yeah. It's usually behind a locked door. If not multiple.
Yeah, and even managers have issues getting to it.
Like burglarizing is definitely not the way to get in.
It's a way to get in.
I mean, sure, but in a supermarket where it usually is fairly busy back behind.
Yeah. So y'all got all day? This is not a bad option, of course. And there are plenty of local businesses of various sizes, so
you can just use one of our fake IDs to, I don't know, take a look, maybe. I'm not sure what the protocol for that is though.
Yeah, I mean, effectively, whatever y'all want to do. If the three of you want to kind of go up together and pretend to be something, whatever that something is, sure, y'all nailed it. It's just basically the sneaking and the, convincing we need to succeed on.
So where exactly are we right now?
We're basically
y'all went somewhere.
Yeah, we're basically just looking around for the nearest supermarket for video footage, I guess. See if we can find this Finn guy. Maybe, depending on how far back they keep records.
Yeah, actually, if we're gonna be looking for him, can we? Where did Graham tell us what places he likes to go to or hang out?
If you guys asked, he would have mentioned it. Yeah.
I want to ask.
Not really too surprising. He does mention going along with Jay's idea. It's right around the corner. Food, why not? So they don't go far for their food. He and Finn, they don't go shopping together, but he knows Finn used to go there. And to be super clear, if you guys ask Graham anything, like, hey, did you ask the people, manager, workers? He's asked people in the area, do you remember this kid? And he kind of just gave up. So he's asked folk, but recording-wise, obviously he doesn't have access to that. But you do know him asking around has bared no fruit.
So we're trying to
effectively break in or find a way to look at recorded footage from a local supermarket to see if Finn's on it.
Did he have a job?
Yeah, of course.
Where was it?
Let's say he worked at a local... my brain is not working. Holy shit. Like a warehouse.
So we can check out their cameras too. Maybe even see if they were payrolling someone that suddenly disappeared. That would be accounting work, but...
possible.
Yeah, whichever route you guys want to go. You have all day, so you can do it at night. You can do it midday. Totally up to you guys.
If I'm going to ask about payroll, that's probably a phone call, right?
That would definitely be closer to a phone call, yeah. Or speaking with the manager, something along those lines. Basically bullshitting your way into being in a position where you can get said information. If
it's a warehouse, I might be able to break in there.
Yeah, but it could be one of those overnight warehouses too, which means it's going to be open all the time.
Yeah.
Would it be better for me to pretend to be an auditor, or would that be sus?
I mean, anything works for me.
Correct. So in terms of what you do, yeah, in terms of your approach, very similar to Blades in the Dark, you can say we're chicken inspectors. If you succeed the role, you succeed the role. That's all that matters. It has to make some sense, of course.
Damn, you are chickens.
I still can't believe that actually worked.
You guys succeed every role.
We are having a very good day.
Chicken Empire.
Yeah, sure. I will call in to get the proper documents so I can go in and audit some paychecks to make sure the money goes in and out properly.
Sure. You said you're calling ahead first?
to the company, probably yes, but I'm probably also, am I going to need to call the company, like my company, to get proper paperwork?
Obviously, we can poke with them, but they do want you guys to do everything kind of on your own for the most part, mainly because you can. Regardless,
Yeah, but they're obligated to send paperwork if I need it.
Yeah, like bullshit stuff you kind of already have. Think of it like flashback that you don't really need to pay for. Most of the stuff you have, whether it be in Jay's truck or you guys just have it.
All right, then I will call the company head to let them know that the auditor's on her way.
All right, excellent. We'll have you roll when you get there. How's that sound?
Okie dokes.
And with you going that route, Margot, Carson and Jay, are you backing her up in any way? Are you guys doing something separate?
My
No,
charm
I'm
is
backing her up.
absolutely terrible, so I'm not going alone anywhere. So
Yeah, I mean, if I can help the role at all, I'll do it. That's my skill.
Excellent.
Sure.
All right.
Do we want to come up with an excuse for Jay to check the cameras?
As long as the roll succeeds, you're basically set. That's all that really matters. Of course, each thing you want is an individual roll, so the more you keep poking and prodding.
Okie dokes. I mean, I figure if we tell them we're looking for maybe someone who is up to nefarious things, it might warrant checking everywhere without multiple rolls. I don't know.
Sure.
I want to say that Jay has some experience in like taking advantage of stuff like this and gives her like this feel like if you put some pressure on them, like accuse them of something, they'll let you get away with stuff.
Nefarious, yes.
Yeah, we can definitely start with you just kind of entering with your two buds, though. So they're expecting you around, what time, Margaret? Do you want to do this closer tonight or like midday?
Let's do midday because we're professional business people.
All right.
That typical 9 to 5 work hour.
Excellent. That very much works for me. And as you knock on their back door, you hit the little buzzer. It goes off. You know someone sighs at it. And someone comes whirling to the back. Click, click. The door is opened, and they give you guys a quick up and down look. It says, "You all the auditor? Auditors."
Yep. And I'll hold out my my badge.
All right. As they're kind of checking you guys out, go ahead and roll me Convince Margot. Excellent. Kind of giving you the old look up and down. It's like, all right. And what are y'all here for exactly? I got mixed up with corporate. They said X, Y, and Z and all that other shit. But sorry, stuff. We're obviously busy. So how long do you think y'all are gonna be?
We have reason to believe one of your employees was taking money that he shouldn't have gotten.
Oh, okay. That's pretty serious then. Go ahead and come on in. You got the name of this employee?
No, I'm not sure which one yet.
Oh, all right. As in you can't share with me, as in you don't know.
You
We're
guessed.
not at liberty to say.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Well, I might be curious and I might want a name, but y'all can come on in. And he walks you guys in, very clearly a back room, not organized, definitely super messy. And he goes, all right, what records are you looking for exactly?
I need your finances.
All right, finances. Is that all?
And this guy back here would like to see your cameras.
This guy, yo. Which one? Oh, that one. Okay, cool. Cameras for why? For what reason?
Security. See if he can catch any awkward movements.
Oh, like yeah. Like match things up. If they're getting paid, they're not on the camera. Shit like that. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cool. That should work. We're a little tight right now.
Don't worry. We won't get in your way.
Yeah, sure. What are you here for? And he points at Carson.
What am I here for?
Yeah. Well, what's your job?
He's my assistant.
Oh, that's cool. All right, cool. Yeah. We got Basso, assistant, and camera guy. All right. It's a back room over this way, and he takes the keys that are jingling on his belt and kind of mumbling to himself. Sticks them in, turns, opens the door, and he just kind of hovers in the doorway. Just all right. Well, how long do you think it's gonna take? We getting a little busy, about to have somewhat of a customer rush. The customer rush. We're getting some trucks in. They're customers. You know what I mean.
I'm going to look at my watch and say, well, I'd like to be done in time for dinner, but I'll keep you updated.
Oh, you think this is going to be an all day kind of thing?
It depends how messy the storage room is.
Yeah, and how well kept your records are.
I can't promise you too much in that second one. I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. All your paperwork looks good. I signed it off and everything. If you guys could, pulls out a clipboard. You can sign it right here for me. All three of y'all. Just sign this bottom part.
I make a little squiggle.
Me too.
What's your squiggle look like, Jay? Excellent. 3 squiggles. He goes.
It's actually very
It's
pretty.
like
Oh,
it's the
excellent.
kind of squiggle that like is definitely looks like it's supposed to have letters, but you can't tell what it is.
Mine.
Yeah, it like Jace is very well. It's slightly calligraphed. It looks like he studied it very well. Basically, it looks very official, but it isn't.
I like it. This guy gives it the old up and down and goes, "Oh boy, we got Peter Fancy Pants over here. I can't read that name. I don't know what your name is. I don't really care too much, but very nice. I dig. And squiggles too. Wonderful." He puts his clipboard down and goes, "All right, cool. I'll be in and out, just kind of hovering about. Just leave the door cracked. Please don't close it for obvious reasons. But don't let any of the associates in. Just keep it cracked. If someone gets a oh looky loo, you turn them back to me. Y'all don't work with the company, obviously, but flash your badge, throw some fancy words at them, and turn their asses around. Sound good?
Yeah,
Sounds great.
Yeah, bingo. Let's do this shit." He turns around.
What's this guy's name?
Larry, don't worry about it. All right, I said stuff, not shit, by the way. My apologies. Whatever. Turns around, he walks off.
All right, assistant, let's get started.
Stacks and stacks of paperwork lay before you all. It is not wonderfully organized. You've seen worse. You've definitely seen worse. And there is a far too archaic computer sitting in the computer, quote unquote. It's kind of one of those things that corporate sends you where it's like, this is technically a computer. It has information on it, and the mouse has like one button, basically. It's not great. You literally can't. There's nothing to right click on. Very, very simple display, but there's a second display basically for pulling up the actual video files. So it's all here. It just could be easier to access.
Well, it isn't fancy, but at least these are easy to navigate, I guess. It just starts like going back to the date where Finn disappeared, and then going back one day at a time from there.
Excellent. While it's ugly, it does function. So Jay, you're able to slowly start, and you're gonna hit it and just fast forward. And
How high is the resolution of this camera, by the way?
Funny. Yeah, not great.
All right. In that case, he'll try to I don't know, compare hairstyles if he can. Compare pixels.
It's a good picture. Fortunately, you have two really good pictures of him, so you can get his general height as he was saying next to Graham, and you see his face, so he should stand out decently. But it's like maybe 144p or like at best. So not really. For how much they record, it's got to be low.
Yeah, I mean he's just gonna speed run through them, I guess, at 10 times speed until he sees something that appears Finn-ish sized.
Finn adjacent. And Margo and Carson, are you guys actually looking for stuff through the paperwork, or?
Yeah, I want to see if there's like they paid someone. So there's money out, but no records of where the money went. But paycheck size money amounts.
Excellent. Everyone, go ahead and roll me investigate. I'm going to give you answers no matter what, but roll me investigate.
At least I'm decent at these. I rolled a 1 though.
A 1 and a 5 plus 3.
1 and a 5. Oh.
Easy, as long as you got it, all matters. Effectively, this is going to answer your guys' one generic question. We got a 9, a 5, and an 8. I almost had to call you Mellow, Jesus. Margo, Mellow, same thing. Go ahead, mark experience. Margo. Don't know why I said your name like that.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yes.
I wish I got experience. Why do I keep succeeding?
What'd you forget? Yeah, yes.
That I can mark experience.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Please elaborate. You sound excited to fail.
Yeah, I can mark experience.
Alrighty, so then, with that, while you're tooling through the images, each of you are going to get one question.
One bad eye.
And you're going to get one answer. If you guys have the question now, I won't have you do it in order. I'll just answer them. So whoever has the first question, fire it at me and I'll answer it.
You already know my question.
Rephrase it. Say it again.
Was there paycheck-sized money out, but no records as to where it went? I figure the records can disappear super easily, but money transactions would show up odd.
Yes, there's definitely money. There's gaps, basically. We'll say that. Gaps in pay, gaps in money in, money out. It's very difficult to tell where it's coming from, though, Margo. And I guess since Carson's looking at the same information, Carson, do you have a follow-up question or a separate question? Obviously can't go into too much detail because we got a 5, but still an answer.
Yeah.
But for you, though, Carson, you're good. You got an 8.
So is this where he worked, supposedly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have your question, Jay?
Yeah, I was just basically going to look if there was any videos that had someone that, well, we could assume is Finn, basically.
Yeah.
So, this is obviously going to basically take you guys all day. This is going to take a while. You guys get some looky-loos. At some point, Margot, when you get pretty close to answering something and finding some information, you kind of get, he swings by again and goes like, we doing pretty good. All right, sweet. And he doesn't even wait for an answer. He just walks away.
Oh, okay.
And you get someone who's...
I kind of like this guy.
Someone who's a bit younger, maybe like, not 19 or so. She just whips around the corner and doesn't say anything. And she sees the three and goes, "What you doing?"
Expecting you to get back to work, little lady.
Spicy.
Yeah, just closes the door in her face.
Wait, and she
Not
slowly
even
just
looking away.
she slowly just pulls away.
Was she a new hire?
No, Jay, you've seen her definitely a couple times. She's not lazy, but she's very much... She's good at multitasking. You can tell that she has annoyed plenty of people by just talking constantly while moving boxes and such around.
Do we have access to like their schedules and stuff?
Yes, effectively anything along those lines you guys would have access to. And to quickly answer Jay's question, after you kind of close the door on this individual, you do indeed find that Finn is nowhere to be found in any of the footage. You rewind it, you fast forward it, you double check, you can actually like narrow down where he possibly would have been. Something you do notice, though, is while you don't see any floating boxes, you see what almost seems to be glitches in the video. And you swear to God, you see a stack of 3 boxes that suddenly becomes a stack of 1 box. It's infrequent, but you are seeing product not being moved. It just isn't there anymore and is somewhere else. It's really difficult to catch that.
Is it like a glitch like something... So it's like a glitch like something is missing.
Effectively, yes. Like it's there, and then because of how blurry it is, it's really hard to tell, but it's just not there. So for example, if there were a stack of 5 boxes and then 5 boxes, suddenly it's just 4 and 6. But you do see people moving. In fact, while you're looking at these like gaps of where boxes were probably moved, you don't see any people warping. It doesn't look like time was erased. There's other people working, but you do see, because there's like a line of folk picking up boxes, moving them from left to right. You can kind of see where there would be maybe another person in this group walking with them. They're almost intentionally walking around an area where there's nothing recorded.
Man, that's fascinating.
I would, I guess, check if there's a pattern or a specific days where these glitches happen more often, and see if it's like a pattern.
I was going to ask if we have access to the schedules, are there any like shift gaps where there should have been somebody working?
Yes. So, Carson, to answer your question, if you're looking at schedules while Margot's looking at pay, you do indeed find schedules. And it doesn't look like anything was erased besides your usual. Someone calls in sick, someone asks to be moved from this shift to that shift. Fairly normal stuff. But after a while, you probably see, like, when you see this, Jay, how do you respond? Do you say anything, or do you kind of just, like, keep looking?
Like, first I'm going to compare, I guess, like see if it happens more often, because I don't want to be or I don't want this to be like a literal glitch. And if I found like, I don't know, 3 or 4 cases, then I'll tell the rest, like, hey, take a look at this. And I'll note down the times they work. I'll note down the times when these glitches happen, basically, so that the 2 of them can have something specific to look at.
Yeah, I try to match up wherever Jay is looking also.
Perfect. So having that information, Carson, it actually makes it easier for you to find during these shifts. It looks like someone you can tell. You run a business. So actually this is easier for you. You know that every day, this is perfect. Every day, let's just say there's like $500 budget for associates plus yourself. That budget seems to be missing on random days for literally no reason. Once again, nothing is erased. It looks like they just didn't schedule someone on this day. But those days that don't have someone scheduled, where there should be someone scheduled, line up with all the weird glitches that Jay is finding.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, really. So in addition to the money going nowhere, going somewhere but unknown, there's shift gaps, video that looks oddly, like the people being walked around and stuff.
Effectively, yeah.
So it's like someone is definitely supposed to be there, or was at one time, and now is not.
The glitches are more so statical glitches, like the timer doesn't jump forward like 5 seconds.
Nah, it doesn't look like anything was cut. In fact, you pay close attention to that, and the timer is perfect.
So it's not like something was cut out. It's
Correct.
like something in the video
Yeah.
is literally missing.
Yeah, almost like it was like really
just like random static every, I guess, few hours or something.
Effectively, yeah. Obviously, the quality is incredibly low, so like maybe there's smudges where something would be, but it is maybe like a shadow, but just barely. It is almost impossible to perceive what could have possibly been there. Especially if you're looking from the outside, it could be anything.
We should ask Graham if he noticed like a increase in technological issues when Finn was around, because he was able to make a picture of him, but apparently cameras didn't work all that well.
Is this something you guys would have asked him prior, or you're planning on asking him later?
I mean, it's something we
Ask
learned
him.
now, I guess.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just like old tech that has issues around him. Who knows?
Could definitely poke him with that. Like I said, he'll be back later today. You guys will have him effectively all night, and you guys will be done by around that same time. And you guys will have him, of course, tomorrow going forward. So whatever you want to ask him. And then in terms of questions, you guys basically relatively grueling. This room is hot after you slam the door on that one girl who's maybe a little too nosy. You realize there's another reason he kept this door open. It gets hot in here really quick, so
I didn't slam it shut at
yeah,
least.
yeah.
I just like, kept it at
Respectively
an inch.
respectfully closed it firmly.
And that little fan that's like blowing in your guys' direction, it ain't doing shit. So cracking the door open back to where it was is something you definitely want to do and have to at some point, so you don't all pass out in the room. So a bit sweatier, maybe some paper cuts. Might need to disinfect our hands after touching certain things in here, but other than that, we've effectively got all the information we wanted. Do we record anything with photos on our phone or anything along those lines? Or
I should. Is it
Sorry,
possible
go
to
on.
take copies of the tapes?
so he won't let you,
I mean, it makes sense.
but you could have like recorded a few, bits of information in your phone, and from how
More so
busy
what
he
I was
is.
thinking was like potentially send in some pieces of the tape to the I.C.S. and have them see if they can clear something up or something.
So
But if we can't take it, then well, I could try to steal it, I guess. But
correct. You can't. Asking him, he'll say no. That doesn't mean you can't take it. you know where they are. You're I don't want to say intimate with this machine, Jay, but you've been with it for a little too long, and looking around, you can see they're all kind of stored in this lockbox that's under the machine.
like I'm gonna like take out one of the, I don't know, a random tape, I guess, that is far enough back that nobody probably cares about it, and if possible, like set up a decoy so they don't think that hey, one is missing. That's an issue.
Okay. This sounds very burglary to me.
Sure.
Throw the burgle dice.
Burglarizing.
Burglarizing. Hey!
I just randomly stick it in my pocket and ignore the rest.
Hell yeah. So this little compartment is definitely locked down. It's a little difficult to get to. But with a 10, you can pick 3. You get in undetected, you get out undetected, you don't leave a mess, you find what you were after. You nailed it, I would say, with everything you just said. There's one thing you don't do there, but regardless.
I mean, I'm just gonna go with you don't leave a mess, because have good luck with that,
That's fair. So
it's already a mess. I don't have to worry.
Precisely. To your knowledge, they should not know you've taken this tape. You took it, from what you can tell. Like I said, you've been through these tapes a bit. Maybe the physical recording on the tape, like what's written on it, is incorrect. Like if there's like a little thing they have printed that's just like slapped on there, might be wrong. You don't know, but you're like 99% sure you got this correct. So they should not know a tape has been taken. You're able to kind of get all that locked up. Margot and Carson, no extra noise or anything is made, so you're set with this extra tape.
All right. Well, I'm also going to take.
Even the two of them don't notice it.
I'm also going to take pictures and stuff of all the like the shift stuff, just in case I need to look back at it.
Sure.
Like, I wonder if there's a way to like trace his internal ID.
Internal ID, how so?
Like, how every worker has like their internal ID.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably going to be a shitload of gaps in them because a warehouse has a lot of people going in and out.
Indeed, yes.
So probably not, but yeah.
Bunny, remind me what my answer got me, my stupid failure.
You were looking at the money side, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Effectively what that showed you was that yes, there is money that's missing. We don't know why, and we don't really know from where, but I will say, because Jay and Carson made the connection, it wouldn't be too hard for you to see it as well. The money that's missing, that has no excuse to be missing, lines up with these weird gaps that Carson found in the schedule.
Does it also line up with when Finn disappeared?
Yes.
Actually, do the more recent schedules and stuff have that already covered?
The more recent schedules seem to have, let's just say 500 was the budget. The more recent schedules are, rather than being like 450 budget, they're all 500. So that gap isn't missing. There's no notes saying like, where would that money go? It's like no one even noticed this happened.
All right.
Well, someone's going to get in trouble with that.
Yeah, in terms of productivity, everything seems to be just fine. There's a few different changes. Like sometimes it's like there's a 600 bed budget, but that's because, they're getting an extra truck. So everything basically lines up, except for this one like weird little bit. But right when he went missing, schedule went right back to normal.
So
you could also check just to be sure if like the work schedule had like, or suddenly became normal for the period he was on vacation.
That also lines up, yes.
So clearly somebody was here, even if nobody remembers it.
Correct. Margaret, you had a long so.
It's like the proof, like the evidence of him being there is the fact that there's nothing there.
Yes.
Which is bizarre. As someone who went to school for accounting and worked for a CPA very briefly, when it comes around to year-end reconciliations, I'm pretty sure this company's accountant is going to be like, WTF did this money go?
You are not wrong.
What if, though, there's something that's making it so that they don't remember? Like,
I mean,
it extends to like the stuff that he's had contact with.
I mean, they would still have to look back, and then they'll see the records of a person that does not exist receiving money that does not exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Say that they won't also experience that gap.
Because we aren't experiencing it right now.
Yeah, because I wanted to confirm if the money was still missing no matter what happened, and it was. So the accountant, even if they don't remember him, should still notice missing money.
Indeed. Like I said, from an outside
that's for the company to figure out.
Right.
Those accountants are really going to be like, somebody's embezzling funds.
Well, I feel like since we came here, I probably should mention it.
You guys are just about done. He'll be leaving soon. He checked in with you guys like maybe 30 minutes ago saying, hey, we're just about done here. At least my shift is, so.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and tell him, well, I found something funny, but I think it's above my pay grade, so I'm going to let you and your CPA handle it.
Are we talking clown funny, or are we talking like you stub your toe funny?
What?
I don't know. Is it like pain funny, or is it ha ha?
I will point it out. This looks like someone's paycheck, a legitimate paycheck, but there's no name on it. So talk to your CPA.
Looking quickly through the files you present to him, he just goes, shit. And just kind of stares at it.
I mean, you don't want them looking too hard, because then they'll also notice the tapes and the weird like boxes appearing.
I think that's fine.
Shrug, it's your business.
So he seems incredibly confused, but way too busy.
I'm almost curious if we came back in like say a month and they forgot all about it. But that would be a lot of follow up.
No, like if anything, you could just shoot a message to your boss to like, you need some cleanup here, I guess.
Oh yeah, we should have cleanup on the financials department, right?
Yes. So there's cleanup, and there's body cleanup, financial cleanup, picture cleanup. The less they have to do, the better. The more you make them do, the more annoyed they'll be. So the less they'll help you guys.
I mean, it's
no, the warehouse burned down.
I still have to fill out the paperwork no matter what. I'm sure they probably do stuff to make me regret asking for this sort of stuff, right?
In a sense, yeah. Basically, if you bother them too much, it's not going to like add. I might have you roll stress. I don't know. Maybe it's stressful to do. I mean, maybe like a low roll for like a stress for filling out paperwork, because it's just tedious and boring. Maybe we'll see.
All right. I will say, okay, I'm going to half retcon rather than you're on your own. I'm going to say, take this card, contact them. You might be in trouble.
All right, not really entirely sure what to do here because he's like super busy with other things, but he gives you a look as if to say, I'm on it, question mark, whatever this is, sure. Like I need one more thing on my plate. Excellent. Also, to be super clear, when I say if you bother ICS, I literally mean like you ask way too much, so I most likely won't ever actually make you roll stress for asking them to make you fill out paperwork at the end of the day.
Okay.
Paperwork.
While it's funny, I most likely won't be doing that unless you guys like really rely on them.
A paperwork mechanic from that other.
There is one. There is one.
Yes.
It's so funny. I love it.
It was one of the systems we were looking at, wasn't it?
Yep. I forgot which one it was.
Was it something green?
Delta Green definitely has paperwork, but there's another one that basically treats the stress track in Blades in the Dark like paperwork, and if you don't do it, you get like more stress. It's so funny. I love it. It's hilarious. Like if you use psychic powers without like the company's permission, if you keep using it, it's like unauthorized use of powers. So it's more and more paperwork. And if your paperwork fills up too much, you get a trauma. So great. I'm like, oh my god, I love that. Bureaucratic horrors.
The true chaos in this world.
Yeah, basically. It's so great. I love that shit. Anyway, so after we're finished with this, Larry, it doesn't really look too happy for a multitude of reasons, but he's happy to see you guys go. Whatever the information you found, he'll ask someone else to look into it.
I will give him one last cheer up. Don't worry, it wasn't as big as I thought it would be.
Yeah, good to hear, good to hear. I mean, it doesn't look like it's really too bad, not that I can really read this all that well. Everything's mostly in order. I mean, if anything, it looks like I scheduled a really good week here, and we still hit our numbers, so not too bad, yeah. They were working hard, that's exactly what it was. Anyway, off with y'all. Hey, have a good day and all that nonsense.
I think you should hire one more worker, honestly.
He just gives you a look at it and say, like, what? Are you asking for a job?
No.
He's really confused.
He was just making a joke.
Okay, he doesn't get it and thinks you like want the job, and he's like looking at you like, what? No, what? That's a step down.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Yeah, take it easy. And he turns about after seeing y'all out, closes the door, locks it behind you, and we're out into the night. You guys know that around in, an hour or so, maybe 30 minutes from now, Graham will be off and back to Serene Falls.
On a drive to I don't know where, I'll just give the cassette to Margot. Deliver this to the tech division.
Will do. Do I have like a quick delivery service?
Yeah, basically you can, we'll say this, you can go to authorized mailing centers, and you have a guy. We can speak to said guy, and he just packages shit for you. You have a card. All they know is they look at it, no questions asked, pack it up, send it, done.
I feel like it should be like a little demon, a male moogle.
Sure, a demon male moogle.
All right, I have a guy. I will give it to the guy. We make a brief.
There's like a small note with like all the times that they should pay attention to, but that's about it.
Yes. Okay.
Moogle in a man suit. Go.
I'm impressed that Margot didn't ask where I got that tape from, though.
As long as it helps us solve the mystery, I don't care.
I feel like she knows better right now.
I am not a goody two shoes, unlike my brother.
Alrighty, so regarding all that stuff, we kind of just hanging out until we can see Graham again. It'll be around dinner time.
I don't think we have anything more to do today.
Not necessarily. You guys only have to see him tonight. Totally up to you.
Yeah, I mean, we can update him at least that, yes, Finn does indeed exist, yada, yada, yada. And leave it at that.
Are you good with just his job, or do you want to check other security cameras out?
I'm expecting it to be the same, but we can check more if you want.
Is it worth it, GM? Because I think his job gave us everything we needed to know.
That's effectively more information. You guys can look to other places, but it's just a risk of you can, of course, but it'll be dark, so easier. But you'll have to break in and such. So
I guess we'll send him a text like, well, he found some more clues about Finn, and also ask him about if he ever noticed any weird technological glitches when Finn was around or something.
All right, perfect. He'll look in on that. So do you guys want to speak with him tonight, or are we just going to jump to tomorrow?
I think we're just gonna.
I think we can just
do
jump.
our thing.
Okay, excellent. That definitely works for me.
Okay. Jay remembered.
All right. What was the question?
We wanted to get access to the security cameras from the psychic classes.
Oh, yes, you did. Cool. We'll say it's been definitely some time. So by tonight, you're able to get the answer of that. And since you've already effectively seen this, it's basically the same thing. You see Graham talking to no one. You see him opening a door for no one. He just kind of stands awkwardly for too long before walking through said door. And that's effectively it. It lines up with precisely what you've already seen.
Tactical glitches included?
The quality is definitely much higher, but there's like a warble. It's a, when I say light, I mean there's like a light warbling, no time skips. Once again, it's effectively just a lack of presence that's notable now that you're looking for it.
Interesting.
And unless you look like real close for where Farron was supposed to be, you wouldn't see this odd warble. It almost looks like when you take
like an air interference of some kind.
Similar, yeah. I don't know if you've ever taken.
No, hang on. Is it like, you know, when it's super hot and the gravel kind of like
mirage
like
effect.
Yeah, like just waves off of it?
Yes, it's similar to both that effect, and if you've ever taken the little lasso tool in Photoshop to try to like replace a brick or replace something, and it just auto fills in information from around it, but it doesn't look perfect, it's kind of like that. Like you can tell someone photoshopped it by the way the pixels are. It's kind of like that. I'm not saying it's Photoshop. This is clearly not Photoshop. It looks similar to that.
But it's the same vibe.
Same vibe, correct.
The same autofill.
Yeah, basically. It's like a memory autofill plus what Margot said. Okay. And like I said, better quality camera, so it's a little more, the lack of information is a little more clear. That's not confusing. Also, since we're all resting back.
That's definitely a thing.
I know, right? Since we're all resting back at the hotel tonight, Jay and Margot, you guys can heal 1 harm.
Yeah.
And I assume our goal in the morning is to head straight to good old SF, pick up the G, and go to the P.
Now I'm actually curious. While we're driving, while we pick up while driving there, I'm going to ask him to describe Finn.
You're going to ask him?
See if it lines up with the actual picture.
Yeah. I mean, just instantly, because he can't help it, he goes look at the picture and goes, I see what you're trying to do.
No, don't look at the picture.
Yeah, he closes his phone, locks it, and he thinks for a second, and he starts describing Finn, and you guys will have his picture on your phone. While it's not perfect, it's really damn close. He basically describes him from exactly what you can see in the photo. In fact, he describes things that definitely aren't in the photo. Things about his personality, things you wouldn't have seen, maybe different hairdos on certain days, style of clothing, which wasn't super apparent in the 2 images you have. So he's got plenty of information. He kind of just rattles it off real quick.
Question.
Answer.
Have we investigated his parents yet to see if he had an imaginary friend when he was little?
No, you have not.
Well, we'll have to get to that then.
I mean, just because it's an imaginary friend doesn't mean it's an imaginary friend.
Just because they're imaginary doesn't mean they're not real. This very fosters home for the imaginary.
Yes.
Friends.
I like that show.
It was a good one, actually.
It was a good one.
Some things do hold up.
A lot of the old cartoons on the good old CN indeed hold up.
Yeah, for sure. So, I guess we need the contact info for his parents.
Yeah.
You can just ask him directly, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, yeah, we could do that. And then ask if we don't believe him, we can look his parents.
He might not.
Well, he doesn't sound like he's talking about an imaginary friend.
No, which is why I was thinking his parents, because he might not remember he had an imaginary friend, but his parents would.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like we should talk to his parents. Because he clearly thinks that he's out and about and around and a real person. And if it happens to not be a person, then he's already under the impression.
Does actually exist, though.
Yes.
Right, but like you said, quote unquote imaginary friend doesn't necessarily mean that they're not real.
So he will.
It's just like a perception. Tons of movies and shows about that kind of
thing. He like, I don't know, just a belief that he was there could have made him real for a short period of time.
Manifestation.
He believes he doesn't age, so he doesn't.
That's a power.
Me.
Wise beyond your years.
So I think that's what we should do next, or one of us should go next.
On that note, when you guys did speak with Graham,
the only one that doesn't have a negative charm, so yes.
He did mention, Graham did mention that while he's not on bad terms with his parents, he said his mom's very, helicopter is the wrong word, but she's pretty overly protective.
She would definitely know if he had an imaginary friend then.
But he also isn't really sure he wants to contact them or have you meet his parents.
Is there...
he doesn't have to know.
Well, if he made a point to say something about it, maybe we... Well,
that, and if she's at a helicopter, she might mention it, so hiding it might be good or bad. I don't know.
You can also just listen in on her, I guess. Do some spying.
Are we going to attempt to try contacting them prior to leaving, or? Oh, yeah, sorry. To clarify, Graham did let you know. He did mention the name of this place. It's called, I wrote it down for you there. It's called Galva Hills. When you get there, you cannot use your phone. There is no reception here. You have to drive like a couple miles away from the small town, before you can use your phone again.
I can take pictures.
You can't, yeah.
Does the radio work at least?
Ish, yeah. Radio does work to a point. Of course, it'll like kind of fizzle out after a while. But like basic reception is shit out there, basically, long story short. So
too bad.
You can drive like you said, it's about a mile or so away from Galva, and once you do, your phone should kind of work again. It can't send like big pictures or anything crazy. You can send basic texts, and you can do quick phone calls while posing weird with your phone in the air.
Is there a landline at least at the hotel?
Theoretically, yes.
Whatever it is.
Yes.
I think we should just go.
Yeah. We go to the wilds.
Plan is
to the Galva
head out
Hills.
to the wilds.
Hopefully not die.
All right. How many vehicles are we taking?
Just my truck.
And
Fine.
are we pretending?
I think mine is
That it's
better
an
for
article?
off-road.
I mean, we aren't going off-road. Because the place we're going to is on the road, ? And there shouldn't be any more roads that are drivable, I think Yeti said.
It's basically in the middle of nowhere. It's going to take about a day to get there. So this is going to be a drive. It's not off-road, though. You are correct. It's going to be, the roads are going to get a little dirty at some point, but they're not paved. They're like stone and or dirt.
I more
I
so
have a
meant like
question.
the actual wilds.
What was the question, Carson?
Did Graham specify why he didn't want to be in contact with his parents? Did he say?
Yeah, I think it was just helicopter mom, right?
He said she's kind of intense and she's really protective. So he was effectively insinuating if she gets involved, she might hamper what we're trying to do, as in don't go back there. Like, don't hurt my baby.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I definitely think an article interview of some accomplishment that we want to get the life and story of this. I don't know. Maybe we could fake have him rescue some pretty girl from getting run over.
Sure.
I mean, I think that'll just involve him again.
What?
It'll what?
It'll involve her in this entire ordeal regardless. Because the moment we mention him to her, she'll probably go like calling him or something or try to find him.
I mean, is he not in contact with them?
He didn't say they had
right?
Yeah, he didn't say they have a bad relationship. It's just, he's living on his own. He's doing his own thing. He's trying to live his life and experience that, and she's a little too clingy.
Is she like one of those people that's like, why don't you ever call your mother?
Possibly. He really did not go into detail. It was literally a quick, just slap that question away, moving on kind of ordeal.
I mean, I don't want to get him, in trouble or anything.
Well,
if it's not,
rather than trouble.
We'll come back to this. Let's move on.
Okay.
Alrighty. So we are indeed taking the one vehicle then, right? Just Jay's with all the fang dangling and good stuff?
Fine.
I mean, your car isn't even here, I believe. I'm pretty sure I brought everyone to this city.
I don't remember anymore.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I picked everyone up. Because that's my job officially.
Okay.
Alrighty, as this is most definitely a road trip, it's going to be an all-day drive from where we are now to get to where Graham shows you is Galva Hills. It is technically marked on a map. You cannot type this into any type of Google, whatever, Apple, whatever. It's not going to get you there. You're going to have to, it'll peter off at some point and you have to just navigate yourself. The nice thing is there aren't too many roads.
We're slightly quicker.
Yeah, so you won't, yeah, exactly. So you guys went there in a reasonable time. And the nice thing is, because there's not really people on the road, you can go at your preferred speed, Jay. And no one will see you doing this thing. So, yay.
As hard as the van can go, which is honestly not very fast.
But respectable for a van.
It's a van. It's respectable for a van.
It's respectable for the size. So yes, you guys pick up food, snacks, all that good shit, and we head up to Galva Hills. He reminds you guys, just a few more times, if you guys need to make any calls or do anything of that nature, 100% do that now, because you will not have the ability to do so after. But once we get there, you can drive about an hour or so out. Stay on the road. Don't go into the woods. Obviously, the trees will literally get in the way. And you should be able to get a phone call. So if you need to send anything to I.C.S, so Margot, I assume you're telling them you guys are basically going dark for a little while?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're okay with this. They do not mind. You don't need to check in with them once a day, which you very much can. That's entirely up to you. Of course, that's more effort. But after
I mean, if I check in with anyone, it'll be my brother.
Right. And he won't tattle. After a long drive, the sun is beginning to set. We are making time, though, fortunately. And as our navigator effectively gives up on us, Graham begins to give you guys directions. And he hasn't written anything down. He kind of just, for whatever reason, memorizes. Left here, right there. There's going to be a big rock. Turn left there. And he is correct. You guys never have to double back. It doesn't take any longer than you expect it to. You guys are on time. Of course, a J behind the wheel. Can't be late. You eventually arrive to a town that has an old European aesthetic. It is surrounded by wooden fencing that looks all handmade. Some of the fencing is made from cut stone that you can see, and all the homes are made of large logs, cut stone, and things of that nature. So there's no modern design in this town.
Very rustic.
Very rustic. It's quite beautiful, actually. There are some, like gaslit lighting, some fires, some more modern. There's some bulbs, but they're trying to keep that rustic look to the best of their ability. There is, running water and electricity here, but they're trying to keep it nice. And Graham did say this is kind of not a resort by any stretch of the imagination, but as he points up, you guys can see up a hill, there's a one large home, and he says that that's basically like the elder, the mayor, whatever you want to call him. He lives there, and then the other larger building is very obviously a hotel. He lets you guys know that that's where he and Finn stayed. They're expecting people, even though they're in the middle of nowhere. This is very much supposed to be a getaway from everything. So the no phone thing, that's intentional. They don't want much technology up here. You're supposed to be able to get away and actually disconnect. And upon passing through the gate, there is somewhere for you guys to park, but the road very quickly turns into walkways only. So you got to park relatively early. There aren't really too many cars here. From what you guys can see, this is a decently sized town, but you get the feeling that most people get around on foot or bikes or things of that nature. But there's no real reason to drive to the baker's when you can just walk there.
Ugh, disgusting.
And Graham seems excited. At first he was kind of a little down, but now that you guys are here, he's like not vibrating in his seat, but he's jamming. He's like, hell yeah, we're finally back. And looking at the three of you guys are so what's the plan? What's our approach? What are we doing here? They'll recognize me. It's not too weird for me going back.
Like how late in the day is it? Like how long of a drive was this technically?
I'd say we're probably close to like 5. We're getting close to 6, I would say. So the sun is setting currently.
Yeah, well, we aren't going to do much today, so might as well see if we have room in the hotel.
I can guarantee they got room. We had any room we wanted. It's real nice. The room sizes aren't like huge, so it's one person per room, but they're nice. Not the best. I don't know what y'all expect, but like I was impressed. I am mad at him to come back here. I'll tell you that much. And as you guys depart and get out of Jay's vehicle, you see some children running around with sticks. They're playing some game where they're whacking a ball around. You see some cats kind of jumping about. And as you guys are walking up the hill, everything is like either cobblestone or a dirt road. But the dirt roads are nice. They're not muddy. They're not like pockmarked. Everything looks like it's well taken care of. And up the hill, you can see this rather large hotel. Of course, this goes without saying, they don't get many customers, if you will. They don't get many visitors. And because you guys are heading straight to the hotel, some folks see that. And you guys get some friendly waves. Some people are closing up. They're lighting, not torches, they're like lighting the gas lamps. And you're getting, casual waves. You hear a goat bray in the distance, and you see some farm animals. Someone's, milking a cow and whatnot and kind of doing their thing. And they seem very pleasant as they kind of all wave to you guys. And Graham waves back. Like, hey, do you remember me? And they're like, no, kind of, sure, why not? But folks seem happy for you guys to be here. And you head on up, and we indeed see the hotel. Everything is lit, and it's prepared for entry. As you guys swing the doors open, a little bell dings, and someone turns to you and gives you a wave and says, oh, hello there.
What's the name of the hotel, by the way?
The name of the hotel, we'll just call it Seasons Comfort.
Oh, it's Silent Hill Hotel.
So she says, hello, welcome to Seasons Comfort. There will be 4 of you, I see.
That's correct.
She nods very happily. Well, you'll find that all of our rooms here are about the same in terms of quality, which is the absolute best, of course. Are any of you staying together, or...?
How big are the rooms?
We have 2 rooms for couples, and the rest are all for single people. They're close by, though, and you can easily move between them. We have, obviously, an open bar, you can wash your clothes, and she kind of points around a corner. And she says, but unfortunately we only have 2 rooms for couples, and 1 is currently occupied. All the others are open.
Just keep it to the singles then.
Wonderful, wonderful. Do we know how...
This is going to hurt my wallet. I can feel it already.
After she shows you the prices, they're actually quite reasonable. They're actually very reasonable. And she smiles widely and says, will you be paying individually or all together? I assume we're all a group, yes?
Yeah, I'm paying.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, as we look at Margot, yes.
She turns to Margaret and says, perfect. Well, what brings you all here to Galva Hills? We don't see many folk. I like your car, by the way.
Thanks, I guess. It's not all that much, but...
Oh, we're here to see the sights.
Absolutely wonderful. We do have some hosted tours, but as long as you're respectful, you're more than welcome. I wouldn't recommend it now, of course, as, sundown is getting dark. You want to be safe and all. There are animals out in the woods. If you're all new, she looks at Graham and says, I do recognize you, though. And he points back at her like, yeah, I wasn't here too long ago. Just perfect. Well, it looks like Graham it was, yes? He goes, yeah, precisely. See, they remember me. Perfect. And she goes, wonderful, wonderful. Well, Graham here can tell you, we are in the woods. This is the wild, so we need to respect the animals. I would highly recommend not leaving past, and she kind of looks at the giant clock on the wall, big old grandfather clock, says, well, approximately now. Little dangerous. You'll be perfectly safe on the inside, though. You don't need to worry about that at all. Other than that, you'll see, Miss Margot, that the prices are quite affordable. And if you do need anyone to show you around, well, of course, you got Graham here, and you have hired help that can show you through the town, or show you through the wilds, whatever you'd like. And if you need anything from me, feel free to ring the bell. And she points beside her where you can see a little bell for each room, like 101, 102, etc., etc., etc. And she smiles at that.
All right, thank you very much.
You are quite welcome.
On the room with a balcony.
She smiles at that and kind of slides 3 keys towards them and then slides 1 towards you, and gives you a wink.
Take it, I'll just move up. Wink back.
She smiles widely at that and motions to the stairs that are looping to the left and looping to the right. Heading upward, you guys can tell that this bottom floor, ground floor, is basically dedicated to maybe like little plays they would hold. So there's like a little town meeting area. There's, food, things of that nature. There's places like to wash your clothes, and all the rooms for guests are on the upper floors.
Perfect.
Graham helps you guys like gather up all the keys, and he's just like, all right, well, let's go. And he starts like heading on up. Jay, you, of course, instantly realize the key she gave you is indeed for a room that you requested.
Good. Makes it easy to smoke.
Oh, yeah. The hallways are nice. Wooden floors. Some of the walls are wooden. It's real wood, too. So, it ain't gonna chip. Like, there's some chips due to age and such. You can tell some of these buildings have been around for quite some time, but it has a nice, earthy, rustic smell to it. They clearly keep this place very clean. Your guys' rooms aren't lined up, but they're all relatively close. She made sure to group you guys, we'll say, like, in the eastern wing.
Oh, I definitely would have requested rooms side by side.
She tried her absolute best to get them close. There's like a gap between like 1 or 2, but she said those are either taken or occupied by, cleaning, things of that nature. At any time, she can move you over, though. So if someone leaves, obviously they're not super busy. She can wiggle people around, but she will not ask current guests to move, because that's rude.
Okie dokes.
I mean, it doesn't really matter where we sit anyway. As long as we're close enough, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
And other than that, like I said, it's a little late, but the town isn't necessarily going to sleep. You guys are, of course, more than welcome to, though.
Well, what time did Graham and Finn wake up when they first started last time they were here?
Definitely depends on their mood. I will say that the individual who spoke with was named Eleanor. But add her there. She seems to be the owner of this fine establishment. Saw her little name tag. In terms of when to get up, that depends. He said they have a pretty, solid local beer here as well. So they spent, maybe some nights up a little too late drinking, causing them to wake up just a wee bit later. But they're usually, early to rise. So they get up at like, 6, 7, head out hiking, nice and early in the morning, sometimes even earlier, like 5. But realistically, y'all can go whenever you want. He's down. He can be an early bird if he needs to.
I mean, I assume the view is worth, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, he's excited to be here. just to be here, but also, you know, his friend, of course. But this place is nice. It's very pretty. They did a good job kind of hiding it away.
Okay, take some mental notes. Take Vanessa here someday.
Well, if we're gonna do this, I'd like to see the sunrise.
How romantic.
I know,
Hey, I want to take pictures so Maverick can see what he's missing out on.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Before Jay went to bed, he went around to get, like, I don't know, see if there's a map of this place, I guess. A more detailed one.
Yes, there's actually a map at the floor level, and she just says, just take one, it's fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, she nods happily, kind of smiles at you and gets back to whatever she was reading, just some, like, magazine.
Now, I did notice that Graham is very good at directions, apparently, so I'm gonna ask him to, I don't know, visualize the route he take, I guess, and mark it on the map, just in case.
Like the route to get into the woods, or...
Yeah, like, have him think back, like, what route do you take? And I'll try to draw it out, I guess.
Oh, yeah, sure. So he kind of thinks for a second. And looking at the map, he seems a little lost.
Close your eyes, don't look at the map.
Okay. He closes his eyes and he's attempting to, like, visualize the town. And he seems like still, for a second, completely just like, dude, I have no idea. And then it takes a second. And he's like, well, there is like this one building. And it had like some antlers. I think it was, what do they call it, tanning or like leather work or something like that.
I'll look for a leather worker on the map or something like that.
You see it. And he's like, there's a big like rock next to it. And there's a rather large stone, notably large, like 2 stories tall, next to it. And he's like pointing at the air, but not at the map. And he just starts like naming. It's like, well, that was a house. That was a house. The hotel should be here. And he's like thinking. He's like, I turned left. There's like this kid. There's like a goat or something. You see another house there, so that's probably where. And he just slowly starts naming. Half the shit he says doesn't make any sense, but he'll occasionally nail a landmark as he's trying to visualize it. And then after a while, he leads out a certain gate that goes out into the wild. And he goes, yeah, and then you should be in the woods. Around it, at least.
Seems to work.
Was I right? Am I good? Did I run into a wall?
No, that seems accurate.
Hell yeah, nice.
So think back on the day you went out with Finn when he got cut. Can
Okay.
you envision the route you took?
Oh yeah, probably. I'll need to be there. I mean, less landmarks. You know what I'm saying? It's just trees and rocks.
That's good enough for now.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm here to help y'all. So,
Yeah.
Y'all brought hiking gear, right?
Yeah,
Like good shoes and all that.
Of course.
Just making sure, just checking. I've been with some eager folk that come out here and they got like shit for shoes, and you know, one day, not even one day, half a day in, and they're just torn to hell and muddy, and nah, it's no good.
Well, if they need it, I have work boots in my truck. Or
Perfect.
van.
If you got money, you can buy some. Might take a second for them to, make them for you. I think they actually hand make their shoes here. It's really, really dope.
Does that mean they're fitted to your feet?
I mean, yeah, if they're handmade, custom for you.
I should tell my brother about this place. I send him off a quick text that I know he won't get for a few days.
Can you like work expense that, or how's that work?
No, it's gonna be personal.
I mean, I guess that makes sense, but whatever.
I mean, honestly, if you use them for a job, you can probably write them off.
Nah, too much 52 shoes. I'll never do that.
What if you work expense them for him as a gift?
Okay, enough of that.
He looks at Jay, he's like, we'll make it work. We'll make it work.
It's fine. Get us someday.
All right, and seeing as it's relatively early, you guys can, of course, turn in now while just kind of relaxing and unpacking. It does take some time to do that, of course. Each room is about as large as you guys need it to be. You have bed, little table for eating. There's a side bathroom in each room. And the way the hotel is angled, while not everybody has the nice little view that you have, Jay, there are windows so you can see outward in every single room. And some, of course, will have a better view than others, obviously because of the sun. But this building, they tried to angle it in a way that you guys can see out. Just out. You can see over some of the trees. It dips down. It dips back up. It's honestly quite a gorgeous view, especially with the sun setting. Sun's gone now, obviously, but you know when it rises, it's going to be choice.
How sad that the other guys don't see this.
Other than that, is there anything y'all do before the night wraps up?
Around 2 a.m., I suddenly remember how embarrassing my interaction with Sophie was.
Do you wake up or just like have a weird dream?
And I wake up and I'm like, oh my God. That was the worst. And then I go back to sleep.
become the
I would
Grinch.
say I would use this time to de-stress a bit, I guess, if that's possible. But I'm not sure if there's a way to de-stress right now.
Not today. So not to super, get into the weeds of that mechanic. But effectively, you can only. I'll let you guys know when there's moments to de-stress. If like I said, without getting into too much detail, but I'm sort of stealing it from like Delta Green and Call of Cthulhu, and their stress basically never goes away. It just goes down, 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 down until you reach a breaking point where your character just goes like kaput. So of course there will be moments for you guys to de-stress, but I need to make them few and far between enough to make the mechanic actually do something. Otherwise, we might as well not even have it, because it's easier to remove stress than it's to gain stress, unless I ask for stress rolls like every 5 seconds, which seems a little tedious, and I don't want to do that. So that I'm not asking for too many rolls, I'm going to make the removal of stress infrequent, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. All right, other than that, besides Carson's, I would even call it a dream, just your brain reminding you at 2 in the morning of your wonderful interaction, we all sleep restfully. What time do you guys plan on waking up at?
What time is sunrise?
Early. We're going for early?
We're going for early.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Are we all early birds, or some of us fight against the sun?
No, Jay's definitely an early bird. Like, he likes sleeping in, but he wakes up very early.
So I sleep through my alarm a couple times, so someone might have to come over and bang on my door until I wake up.
Not me. I'm at this point basically
Carson?
gathering the gear from from my fan for the
What was
track.
that?
Whose room is beside mine?
What?
She was saying whose room is besides hers. Her alarm goes off a few times. You guys were planning on waking up. I assume Jay wakes up either dead on time or like right before he's supposed to. Instantly starts getting ready. Graham would wake up early. Would you bother Margot to make sure she wakes on time, Carson, or would you kind of do your own thing?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I would wake up at the first alarm, and if I hear it ring again, I just start banging on the door.
Perfect.
Just to be
Perfect.
annoying.
That's exactly what I need. Thanks.
See, it was Jake. He would have literally just picklocked your door and stood over your bed.
God, that's creepy.
That wouldn't work. I'd sleep through it.
You just be staring at her for hours, and then you're
I
like,
would
this is
just- I would
starting to
just
get a
look
little
at her for, like,
uncomfortable.
No, I just looked for a second and go like, "Hey, wake up!"
Ooh, be careful with that.
Watch out.
How close do you keep that sword to your bed?
Very.
She cuddles it in the sleep.
Sometimes, depending on where I am.
Depressing.
A girl's gonna survive somehow.
That's a way, yeah. Alrighty. Up mostly bright and early. I don't know if I want to say Margot's up bright, but definitely early. Showers and such, everything's all set. Eleanor is already awake. She greets you as you come downstairs, Jay, with a wave, and you're getting all your stuff ready. And she's kind of just chilling there. Once again, just reading, just kind of minding her own business. This time she's reading
basically
through.
carrying in like 2 or 3 big rucksacks.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to mind. She's just like, ooh, hiking or caving or something wonderful. And she's just reading through a book.
What a case here, then.
There are a few, yeah.
Oh, there's also marked on the map.
They should be. They should be.
Good.
And with that, everything should effectively be set. If y'all want breakfast, she does mention to you, Jay, that she can throw something together for you guys. She tends to, collaborate with the kitchen to get a little something, but you don't have to. There's plenty of places to get food here.
That would be nice, actually. I don't think
I scarf something down.
I don't think my friends are going to wake up for the next half hour at least, but
Not until I eat.
it would be
No.
nice to prepare something.
So do they come downstairs to see you already eating, Jay?
Basically, yeah. I have stuff laid out on the A table.
I forget my manners.
If anything, I would have requested prepare some extra strong coffee.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Effectively, she let you guys know that the prices they didn't seem super high, Margot, but for where they are, she says it includes food. So just ask if you want. Knowing that and seeing that they got your food out relatively quick, Jay, and it's not the best in the world, but it's incredibly competent.
Jay isn't picky.
Yeah. Like, unless you're super picky, this is good food. It's home cooked. It tastes home cooked. They don't use any fake shit or anything. Obviously, it's all sourced from here, so all the butter and everything comes from the cows and goats and things of that nature. The food, the meat comes from the pigs and things that they have here. There's most likely a slaughterhouse around the corner. You guys are looking at the map, so they have everything. They intentionally label this is where we get our meat from. This is where this. So you can see all the farmers and such. They live in the town. So it's real nice. Then they got some farmstead off to the side for, roaming animals and such, the larger one.
I feel Jay would definitely be taking advantage of that. Like multiple plates.
She doesn't seem to mind. You ask for it, it is indeed delivered. Margot, Carson, and Graham, y'all see all this just sitting in front of Jay already. Are you just munging in?
Yup.
Basically, yeah.
As one does.
Excellent.
And on the rest of the table, well, I'm not sure if they would have asked me to not do it here, but I probably would have taken one of the rucksacks and taken some things out, like rope and stuff like that.
I mean, I think that'd be fine because it would fit with the resort, right?
In a way, yeah. As long as it's clean, of course, and it's off the table that you're eating on, they're cool with that.
But I'm not scattering things over the floor or anything.
Oh, of course, yeah. So
just sorting inventory, basically.
Perfect. She may glance, shoot a look at you as Eleanor's walking by, effectively saying, don't put anything dirty on the table. She gives you a very, very motherly, all right, we know here, look. But she sees that you're being, quite respectful and you're kind of doing your thing, so she's like, sweet. And right as you guys are wrapping up, you got all your organization set, all your food set in your stomach. You see some other folk come down that don't really pay you guys too much mind. Just they kind of talk to themselves oh, more guests, cool. And then they, head out to go do whatever. So what are our first plans in the morning?
Sunrise.
Tomorrow one sunrise.
First we eat and then we move.
Where's the best view?
One of the
best view.
My bedroom was the best view.
Yeah, I would say one of the better views is going to be Jay's room.
All right, let's get going then.
That's not touching grass.
Jay, open it up.
Are you letting them see your view? So there's other places to go, Jay. It's not just your room.
I probably would have looked at a nice spot to see from my balcony, like a nearby hill or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Perception.
Google knows. Yeah, Google returns with nothing. Use your eyes. Oh, okay. But yes,
there's about it. I probably would have marked or looked for a nice spot from my balcony and then marked it on the map so we can go there.
Yeah, there's a small hillock for you where y'all can stand, overseeing various buildings and such, and you see a lot of the locals are also waking up and stretching, and they're kind of waving to each other and whatnot. And as they all are, you guys do indeed see the sunset cut up from over the mountains and the vast woods. I mean, seeing from here, now that we got sunlight, she wasn't kidding. The woods go on for quite some time. You think you kind of see a hint of what might be some of the caves she mentioned as well, and some of these peaks and valleys and such as y'all looking about. But hopefully, if Graham can lead you guys in the right direction, you won't be here for too long looking for whatever this plant is.
I hold very still and try to take a picture of the night sky.
The no longer night sky?
Or the sunrise over the night sky, whatever. And send it off, even though he'll never get it.
Your poor phone is going to just be screaming, it's not working! I'm trying, why?
It's all right. I've queued them up, so as soon as I get back to land, whatever, my brother will just get a billion texts.
Land.
Excellent. You're basically an island of trees. Alrighty, and after we see this absolutely gorgeous view that these people are luckily able to witness every morning, what is our first plan?
I would split the bags, I guess. I've basically made everyone a general basic-ass survival guide with ropes and stuff like that.
Very smart.
And also I have one bag with our tools that, in case you brought guns or something, it's in that bag.
I mean, my sword won't fit in that bag, but I brought it with me.
Yeah, it's more so we're going in the woods, there's dangerous animals here.
Right.
Well.
Yes, hence the sword.
So I'm not sure if you brought anything that was in the van basically hidden. I brought it out.
Yeah, probably not. So good thing you did.
So on the note, weapon-wise, the sword is a very large sword. So you cannot bring it around, Margot, without being incredibly recognizable. And bringing it into the woods would be not necessarily dangerous in a way, just because it's very difficult to bring out. You have many other weapons. If you want to bring it out, that will be...
You want me to choose?
Effectively, you have to choose if you're bringing it with you all the time.
I want my sword, damn it.
That's fine. It's just, it's going to be incredibly obvious, so walking around town with it will be a bit weird. And walking into the woods, it's going to be difficult running around with the sword.
Oh, right. We are walking through town, aren't we? God damn it.
Both, yes.
I mean, how big is this sword, actually?
It's huge.
It's huge, yeah.
Oh, that's...
yeah, so if it was a knife or a large blade, I wouldn't normally be a stickler, but it's like bringing a giant rocket launcher or something. It's gigantic. It specifies it's a massive sword.
Like a guitar case or something.
You're a 90s anime character.
Exactly.
Wait, why not? Would it fit?
Theoretically, yeah. I mean, you like I said, you
Done.
can't.
You definitely like. Do you play guitar, Jay?
Me? No, I play piano. Technically.
Would you happen to have a guitar case in your truck of everything?
I mean, I have one of those like very long sports bags, if it fits in that. I'm not sure if you've ever seen those.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Basically, I think it's a ski bag or something.
Yeah. I mean,
something like that, basically.
Done. I shove my sword in it.
Yeah, you can very much bring it with you. Like I said, Margo would know this, that if something wild happens, like you're running, you could drop it because of how big it is, plus all the shit you're carrying. You're carrying a lot on you.
I'm not dropping my sword.
I know, just letting you know.
Carry it if you want instead, because it's the heaviest bag, basically. It also has my shotgun in it.
Yeah, and once you're in the wild, it doesn't matter how you're carrying it because no one's going to see you.
Works for me.
All right, just a polite reminder because you're the only one with a absurdly large weapon.
Does Carson even have weapons?
Got a gun, right? For sure, baseline, y'all get something. Yeah, 9mm hunting rifle if you want to bring it, and a baseball bat.
Yeah, he should also get 3 things, yeah.
The only thing I'll ask and specify if you're bringing it is the sword, hunting rifle. You can fit that somewhere. 9mm, easy. Knives, I don't care. Even the wrist crossbow, I don't really care about that, sure. But the sword is just absurdly large, so. Alrighty, and with all that talk, I assume we're heading straight into the wilds.
Yup.
And I love the fact that I can just pick an assault rifle. Like, what?
I know, right? All right, you guys learn that on...
You know what? I'm dumb.
Yes?
I made her to be a sniper as well as the sword.
Indeed.
I'll bring the sniper rifle, not the sword. The sniper rifle's more understandable in this place, right?
Very much so.
Done.
If we're fighting a bear from far away or up close, I guess.
Right, and that also depends. Are you putting it in like a sack or...
Yeah, it's going to go in a sack.
Okay. And after you kind of do all this, Eleanor is going to, of course, see, and she will bring up, weapons are fine for, defense, but keep in mind that you guys need a hunting permit, so don't go hunting. Don't shoot animals.
Would she have seen that?
Someone, if Eleanor doesn't say it, someone's going to probably mention because there's people walking around town. As you guys are new, the eyeballs are on you. Someone will mention because you're bringing a sniper with you. Perfectly fine. They do not care. Just
is she bringing it with her like openly, or is she leaving it in the car? Because I would have taken it out like in the bag, not taken it out.
We'll just say it's mentioned by someone who sees you guys. If you're going out with weapons, we assume you are. If you have a rifle, because they're gonna, you can't hide it. Even if it's in a bag, they're gonna assume it's a rifle.
Yeah,
they're just letting you know, don't shoot things unless you ask us. There's
that's
Jay's
fine. I don't care.
A big long bag which jingles.
Yeah, they're going to assume everything's a gun or something just because woods make sense. So hunting permit, you can just ask, smile. And on the map, I might pronounce this wrong, but you learn that the woods are called Lovakagaj. It's in the bottom corner there.
By the way, I probably do have a hunting permit.
Probably. They more so mean you need a local hunting permit because of this area. It's protected.
Fair enough.
No, you have a license to kill, which is different.
Yeah, and after it is mentioned, Graham does say that you guys need basically their permission to go hunting here because this little town effectively has a special deal with like local government where it says no one can hunt here unless the town says it's okay because the animals here are protected. The whole area is basically protected. Yeah.
I mean, I assume that doesn't apply for like self-defense, but...
Correct, yeah. Which is why they're totally cool. You want to bring a rifle, go for it. Pistol, go for it. Just be super, super careful. Don't aggro the animals, and you're set. Be respectful, basically, to nature.
Will do, cock shotgun.
I know, right? Strings grenades on chest.
Lights dynamite. Oh wait, fuck no.
It's one of those like really long, like 5-foot wicks. I'll throw it when I'm ready.
It's anime dynamite. It doesn't go off until you want it to.
Exactly. I'm cooking it.
Exactly.
As one does. All right, so straight into the woods it is then. Question mark, I guess.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Lead the way, Graham. Follow your senses.
Graham, use your mysterious abilities that work 7 out of 10 times.
Do you actually say that?
Yeah.
Okay. He laughs at that. He says, well, if I'm wrong only 3 times, we'll eventually find it, right? I mean, it's early.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. All right. I'm glad.
We're doing fine.
Yeah, sure, Jay says as he pulls out his map.
I'm glad you believe. I'm not sure how helpful the map's going to be. I know they kind of mark some things, but it should be mostly accurate. We should be able to, as we're walking, I don't know how good you are at like cartography and all that nonsense, but I'm shit at it. I'm good with my eyes. That's about it. Don't ask me to draw on that map. I ain't going to help. Not because I don't want to, because I can't. I'll best you out.
Why don't you just lead and I'll see what I can do with this map?
Yeah, sure. as you guys indeed head out into, I don't know precisely how to pronounce that. I think it's Lovak-Gaj, I think. The name of the woods that surround Galva Hills is as beautiful as Graham described to you all prior. We hear birds chirping and such. It gets louder, the din of more wild animals as we leave Galva Hills. As I mentioned, there's pigs and chickens, goats, things of that nature. Children up at play early in the morning. You got parents yelling at them, telling them to come on in. Like, come on, put your pants on. What the hell are you doing? All that fades into the back.
I guess. Just typical Finnish things.
As you do. And we begin to look around the woods that seem mostly undisturbed. Do any of you actually have experience in the wilds?
Yeah, I probably do.
I'm a city boy through and through.
Alrighty. Well, this experience is relatively normal, I would say to you then, Margot. Graham is trying his absolute best. Yes?
I'm trying to think if
Wait a sec.
would someone grown up in like not foster care, but in like a very religious adoption place thing, would they do anything with survival? I doubt it.
I'll entirely leave that up to you.
Okay, never mind. For some reason, I was
I-
like really sure that. Oh, I do. I have a hike. I go hiking. I literally have a
Jay's
hiking
just
backpack.
gonna leave it to.
How
think
did
Jay's
I
just gonna
forget
leave it to
my
who
own
can survive
lore?
in the city? That's it.
I misread that and thought it said psycho ex-girlfriend and went, whoa, wow, calm down.
She. Well, that is.
Carson suddenly gets very pissed about something in the middle of the woods.
It's very close to psychic is only one-ish letter off. But yes, you did right. Bartender owner at the local haunt, ex-fence, complicated history, law enforcement, hiking backpack, and necessities. So, yeah. That deep Carson
when
lore.
When did I get that there?
I have no idea. To be fair, you made this character over a year ago, so.
Huh. Oh, I think we were hiking at one for that first story.
I mean, we did
All
go
right,
there was moss in the woods.
Hiking then.
There you go, perfect.
It was let's say it was Sophie's downtime activity that she loved to do, and so I have all the hiking stuff, but I really only go hiking with her.
Perfect. And Graham looks
but
a little.
I still have the equipment.
Of course. And with we're all booted up. If any of you needs like a nice walking stick or something to stabilize yourself, because it can get a little perilous. This isn't new ground for most of you. We know how to move throughout these hills, and it doesn't. Nothing looks too strange or out of place from what you guys see. It does look mostly undisturbed, which is nice. This place is, as mentioned, basically in the middle of nowhere. You don't really hear or see anyone kind of moving throughout in the hills. And of course, you guys were warned that if a hunting party were to go out, because sometimes they do, partake in some wild animals, they don't usually need to. And it's very rarely an actual problem, but they'll let you guys know ahead of time in the morning. So Eleanor is basically her job to tell you guys, hey, don't go into the woods today. They're out hunting. And if you do, you absolutely 100% have to wear these vests or you might get hurt. And, we'll have you sign waivers. You're not responsible because you didn't listen, et cetera, that whole deal. But today is a woods day. You guys are perfectly safe. She and others definitely questioned if you guys wanted a guide. After Graham's like, yeah, I got it. And they're like, you're not a local. He's like, I've been here. And they're like, sure, buddy. They weren't insistent. It was more a nicety. I was like, are you sure? You sure? You can tell that, money. Obviously, it's a paid tour. But if you guys don't want it, perfectly fine. Graham is definitely a little lost. He attempts to reference the map a few too many times, Jay. And looking about, he kind of does his whole like, all right, maybe he's trying a little too hard. Puts his hand out. There's like, psychic vibes, come to me. No, doesn't work. The hike is nice though. We're moving about, and as we're just chit chatting. Do you guys talk about anything in general or walking around? Or are we kind of just focused on our on the mission?
Chit chat. That's my skill in life.
Okay. Anything in particular, or just shooting the shit?
Just shooting the shit, making conversation, making friends.
Okay. And then I don't think I need to say Graham is relatively open to just general conversation. So yeah, he just. Whatever you say, he just shoots right back at you. He's trying to involve everyone in the conversation, that whole deal. And he's kind of caught up in whatever you guys are currently talking about. And then he pauses. And he kind of, like, his foot is seemingly maybe stuck on something or whatnot. And he looks down. He's like, oh, this tree. Yeah, he tripped right here. It was definitely in this general area.
The plant? Is that the plant that he hurt himself on?
I think he actually tripped on, this root here. Look, and he points down, and the root kind of has like a little like loop to it, where it for some reason grew up out of the ground. Maybe it was like it grew over a rock, and the rock got dislodged. So there's like this little hole there for your foot to get caught on. And it's he tripped right here, and then I think he I fell, and I tried to catch him. And when he whipped his leg around, and he doesn't get on all fours because he's trying to be careful, but he's looking around this tree, and he's like, he cut his leg somewhere around here. I remember it's not being too far out. But after he cut himself, we obviously went back because, it wasn't bad, but it was rough. It was a lot later. He looks up, and it's relatively dark. The canopy is not covering all the sunlight that could possibly pierce through, but, it's getting there. These are pretty thick woods. But as he's looking around, he doesn't see any odd-looking plants. Whether you guys are or are not, interested in flora, fauna, and all that good stuff, nothing outside the ordinary. But Jay, you do see a little bit of blood. Just a little bit.
I was going to ask if there was anything left. I don't know. Could we get samples of that?
Like when you say a little bit, how little are we talking?
Very small amount, maybe like 5 to 10. Yeah, 5 to 10 droplets.
Is there any way we can take it with us?
Graham doesn't notice them initially. Only Jay does. Do you point them out to? Graham's looking for this plant. He doesn't see the blood.
So I will probably point them out and see if there's anything plant-like nearby or disturbed earth, I guess.
Definitely disturbed earth. You can see they probably moved around here and had to catch themselves and whatnot. You can see some of the bark was pushed away, maybe where he went to catch himself. There's a chunk of bark that just got wiped off. It looks like, or cut or something. And as I'm looking around, it's real difficult to see, but there's no odd plants. There's just the blood. And he gets a little woozy for a second, ooh, not feeling that. But more focused on, where is the plant? He's like, man, it was I don't know, like a thorny rose. No rose. There was no flowers, but it was it was red, I think, and spiky. Y'all seen those weeds that got those real big spikes like an inch long? They look more like I'm not good at plants. It was like a stick with spikes on it, but it was like a red
stick with spikes on it.
Yeah, I mean, imagine a rose, but take off the rose and make the spikes bigger.
I want to.
That sounds like a thorn bush to me.
Yeah, I want to take out a notebook and hang on. Okay, yeah, can I take out a notebook and draw a quick sketch of it, maybe?
Or have him draw it? I'm good at drawing mode.
I'm not a good artist, so.
As he's describing it, Margot, you're able to start sketching out what he's describing. And as you are, Jay and Carson, you're asking to elaborate, like this, like a thorn bush, like this. And as he's describing it, he's getting lost. He keeps describing an extra part of it. And he's like, well, it was kind of long. No, it was short. Well, hold up. And as he's going through his mind and trying to think, he's almost getting a little frustrated. Hold up, what did it look like? Because he was so focused on his friend that while you're drawing this, Margot, you hear gravel and plants, the grass just compressed behind you, just like a step and then a step, very faintly.
I'm gonna tilt my body to look at it without looking at it.
Do we all hear that?
Margot's pushed back a bit further, so I would say she hears it first. Do you say anything as you're turning, Margot?
No, I want to see what's there first.
And as you turn, we'll pause there and see what it is next week. How's that sound?
Wow.
Saw that coming.
It's funny because I checked the clock. I was like, whoa, we can't end here. It's only 5:40. I tricked myself into thinking that you were going to reveal something.
Sound and terror for next time.